Hi, welcome to Small Talk Queens. I'm Megan.
I'm Kelly.
This is episode 26.
26.
This is episode 26. Get your kids out of the room and any elderly or prudes or whoever else. Just, skedaddle. And so this episode we decided we're going to do is called Circle Back.
Circle back.
Because, we often use the term circle back because we circle back from episode to episode. So, again, if you're watching this for the first one, this one you'll be fucking lost. If this is your first one, just stop. Just fucking turn it off and go find another one and just start and go in the right order. Because this would definitely throw you off. Because
circle back, follow up.
Circle back to
expounding.
all of the not all the things. We're not circling back to 25 episodes. We're circling back to like a few things like here and there that we have discussed. That
Look really
it bothers me that both my arms aren't in it, but that hurts me when I do that.
Look at how springy we are.
Because it cuts me in half a little bit, so I feel like
Look at how springy we are.
Smaller I am, like it cuts me off over here. This makes me look very broad. I mean, I like a ruffle sleeve, but fuck me, man. These look. I like it. Anyway, we look so springy.
I like it.
We're so springy. We blend in with the flowers. Anyway.
Oh my god.
So I can't. So and we're drinking water. These are cans of water. So that's a tasty. It's LaCroix to be exact.
Sparkling.
The bubbly water.
Bubble? Carbonated.
Bubbly, carbonated. If you hear a loud burp, I'm sorry because the carbonation gets me sometimes. And I can either quietly do it and puff my cheeks out and look like a fucking puffer fish, or I can just fucking let it out. And most likely, I'm just gonna let it out. And my friend, you've heard me. I mean, it is what it is.
When is Sean's
it
goal?
can be a fucking showstopper.
Right. Wait, when is Sean's goal is to burp like Joe?
Joe's better at. Joe gets. I mean, he gets a good one.
Like deep down.
Because I have a deep voice, but his gets fucking deep, and he can sometimes like say words in like the alphabet, not the whole alphabet, but like he'll say some words. Do you like my plaid headband? I had it on the last one too.
I do.
I love it.
It has yellow in it.
Red and white and yellow. Not red. Fuck. There's no red.
I was gonna say there's no red in that.
Black and white and yellow. Okay. So circling back. Okay. So most recently, so 2 episodes ago, I was talking about Joe and I being at the brewery, and the guy came in with a gun. He worked there, and he had like a badge, like emblem thing on his shirt, and it was a fucking constable. And I knew the minute we turned the camera off, I would be done sounding like a moron, and then I wouldn't know what the name was, and then it was constable. Someone's crosses.
I used to know the constable that was in Radnor Township.
This guy was young.
He used to do flywheel with me. Flywheel biking.
Was he like younger than me?
Cycle. No, he's really old.
Oh no, this guy was.
He's retired. He retired right before COVID and became a Santa Claus. Not that this is circling back, but did you know there's a Santa Claus school? Like he's a Santa Claus at the mall. Dyes his beard, shows him, and his hair's already gray, but you let it grow. But there's a Santa Claus school, like an official Santa Claus school, and he meets up with all the other guys that look like Santa Claus.
I want to go to mermaid school.
No, they don't have that.
What about the girls at the fucking aquarium that are dressed like mermaids swimming around with the fish? Don't they have mermaid school?
Wait a minute. Where are there?
Have you not seen this on wherever they put
at the Camden Aquarium? Camden
is the word.
Aquarium.
I've seen it on TV. I don't know if Camden has it per se, but
I think that's a Disney movie. That's a Disney movie.
We'll circle back to that. We'll look the fuck up here in a minute. Anyway, okay.
It's a Disney movie.
No, girls are in the aquarium, dressed up.
You're going to go to school to be a mermaid? There's no school.
I'm not, but...
You just put on the thing.
Well, if there's a Santa school, there's a mermaid school.
You aren't going to the mall to have your picture taken with a mermaid.
I think you can stand in front of the glass and have your picture taken. Okay, look.
He also does private parties. There's another reason for this school.
Oh, the private party Santa.
You can have Santa come in July if you want.
That's dirty. I don't like that.
And he goes to hospitals, like
that's nice.
Even before Christmas. Like it's a year-round gig for him.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
There you go. Hey, Dad. There you go. You could do that in your retirement. You already got the white hair.
And you don't have to. You
have your beard fill out a little bit though.
And is it gray? He needs to make it gray.
His beard's gray. It's totally white. If you've not seen our dad in a while, it's white. I mean, gray. Gray is gray. So is Uncle Bradley. Everyone's gray.
Well, yeah, Uncle Bradley though.
I can't with the gray. Okay. Circling back. Okay, so a few episodes ago, we talked about my friend whose neighbor's chicken got locked in the fucking garage while they were on vacation and shat up the garage and the entire interior of his convertible Corvette.
And the wife laughed.
I mean, she didn't laugh right in front of him. No. I mean, like, look. So,
but I would want to.
So I had told her that we had talked about this. So they watched it, and of course it was a Friday night, and Joe and I had been out having beers, and then so I was on the phone with them, and we were doing a follow up. So
from the bar?
No, after we got home. She's like, are you home? So yeah, so like, what are you doing? Drinking. Okay, so we got on the phone drinking with each other. So the follow-up, and I may fuck it up again, but the chicken did lay eggs. It laid, I believe, 3 eggs. One in the corner somewhere in like a little like nest type thing, whatever, I don't know. One in the little kid's little mini battery operated Corvette that you could like ride and steal, a little toddler thing. Laid an egg in there, and there might have, the third one might have been in the actual Corvette. I believe it might have been. So they gathered up the 3 eggs.
Wait, so he shat and laid eggs?
He shat all over the fucking place and then laid 3 eggs.
Well, I guess it's a girl, not a he.
The hen laid 3 eggs.
The hen.
So they gathered up the eggs, and I believe Peter was the one that gathered them and told their youngest to go over to the neighbors and drop off the eggs.
Return them.
Return the eggs. Return to sender. So we went over to the door and rang the bell and then fucking dropped the eggs on like the doorstep. Eggs are done. So then, I mean, it was kind of like...
Smells, and it becomes like cement if you don't get it off
I'm sure
quick
she
enough.
cleaned it off the front porch. It's a beautiful front porch. I'm sure she cleaned it off immediately. So then, I guess after said crashed eggs get cleaned up, she walked over with 2 bottles of wine as like a, oh my God, I'm so sorry, and then like whatever.
How about paying to have the Corvette?
No,
detailed?
she had her kids. She's a gaggle of kids, and the kids came over. This is 2 episodes in a row. I'm using the word gaggle. Yes, one of my favorites. We still don't know what a fucking group of squirrels is. So look, someone tell us. Google it. So, family of squirrels. I don't know. So go ahead, Google it. Get your phone out. Do a search.
I'm doing it.
So where's it going with this?
Gaggle.
No.
They came over. The kids came over cleaning.
Oh, she has a kid. The kids came over and detailed the car and like cleaned out the garage and everything. So luckily they were all friends.
I want to know though how the chicken survived. How did this hen survive? Like what was in there that it was eating?
I have no idea.
And I'm like my other friend. I would have traded that Corvette in. I would not have been able to sit in there.
I don't know. Those of you with chickens, I guess a chicken can survive for a week without.
I'll tell you
maybe
what.
Maybe they weren't gone a full week. Look, I'm going to circle back again now. Maybe they weren't gone a full week.
I don't hope. I hope that my neighbors never get chickens because those free range fucking chickens will be in my yard. We had geese so bad when we first moved in. It was disgusting.
Have free range chickens. We have too many foxes for that.
Well,
they'd have to have a pen. You can't have them free range out there. Anyway, in a neighborhood, I'm pretty sure there's ordinances that you can't just have the chickens like run around. They have to be like caged in. Okay, so while she looks up to find out what a group of squirrels is called.
I hope there is a name for it.
A tribe of squirrels, a group of squirrels, a gaggle of squirrels. We're gonna find out. I mean, what's taking so long?
Oh my God! Just go on with yourself.
Okay. So
scurry.
A scurry of squirrels. A fucking scurry of squirrels. Jesus Christ! I gotta write that down.
A group of squirrels is called a scurry or a dray. D-R-A-Y,
I like
dray.
Scurry. I mean, how appropriate.
But it's
fucking scurry.
Listen, but it's not a very common sight. Many squirrels are solitary creatures and highly territorial. The term dray also refers to a squirrel mother and her young.
You don't see the babies too often.
Oh my God! Look at that squirrel for scurry. It's got his mouth wide open.
Fucking looks like gonna rip your fucking face off.
Probably will.
Okay, all right. So the chickens lay the eggs. Okay, so then let me see what else. Okay, so another one. Circle back to, and this is a good learning. This is a good learning point in life.
Listen up.
So the episode for my mom's birthday a couple weeks ago, we were talking about how she'd gone to a party and there was punch with grain.
Alcohol in
and
it.
My dad said something like you might want to slow down the punch or something without really being like overly detailed into why maybe you should not drink
and like real assertive about it. Like just like you probably don't want to drink
casually,
that.
Right? Which takes me to the gun raffle. We used to go to a gun raffle every summer. We were there. Maybe we won a gun, that would be great. But we were there
in Clinton County.
We were there
in Clinton County, Pennsylvania.
We were there because they had a beer truck. They had a refrigerated truck with ice cold. Now we drink. We are craft beer drinkers.
I never went. I never attended this.
And we went with relatives, went with cousins of ours, and my dad would go, and it was tons of fun. And it was basically like you bought the ticket, and then it was like a smorgasbord of food, and like all you can drink beer for like 4 or 5 hours.
Wasn't it like potluck food?
It was in August.
Like
no.
People brought the food.
It was a fundraiser for the firehouse, the fire company. It was on their grounds. And it was like, it was lovely.
Where'd the food come from? I thought somebody made it. Like I didn't think
the firemen made it.
Right. So it wasn't brought in by a caterer.
No, they made the food. It was like burgers and dogs and sausage. It was
like
all
a picnic.
Like picnic type food, like beans, potato salad, whatever. and ham and bean soup. And if you're from fucking central Pennsylvania,
Pennsylvania
ham and bean
Dutch
soup is a fucking, it's a lovely, it used to be a lovely thing. I don't know that I've had it since.
My dad makes it.
So-
It's really good. My mom and dad make it.
So
The ham hocks. You gotta use the ham
ham
hocks.
hocks, nice and thick. I mean, it's a fucking good
Grandma
soup.
used to put like little dough dumplings. They were not dumplings like you're thinking of, but she used to cut up that dough,
I'm gonna step this up a notch.
put it in there. Yeah. That's how she always did it.
So-
Dad didn't do that.
So we're there with cousins every year. It was a fundraiser. We drank our faces off. So again, and we're craft beer drinkers, but it was ice cold Coors Light and Miller Light and maybe like Bud or something. But so we would get the Miller Light ice cold. This fucking thing is in August, so like you just chug it. You just chug it. It's fucking get it by the pitcher. Just fucking chugging the Miller Light, right? And then I decide because I like to drink a little bit, get my buzz on, and then go to eat something. I probably had like 6 hot dogs. I don't even know. Who knows? Who the fuck knows? So I go up to the fucking food thing, right? So I've got. It's been a little while. I've been drinking, get my
It's
buzz
like late
on,
in the afternoon, right?
right? It's I think I started like at noon or 1. So this is like towards the end. This is towards the end. So this is my BJ days, my before Joe days. I had yeah. I explained.
I was like, wait a minute, where are we going with this?
You go a lot of different ways, but it means before Joe. Joe has gone to Gun Raffle, but he was not with this. We didn't know each other yet.
Thank God.
So-
Thank God. You might not be
we're-
married.
I had ridden with my father and my cousin Cindy, who lives next to my parents. So I go up to eat something.
You're not even ready for this. And if you're drinking something, put it down.
And I'm browsing the food, I'm looking at it, and it's been sitting there for a while. So I know, like, I'm not gonna have like the macaroni salad, the potato salad, because it's mayonnaise based and it's been there a while. They have a vat of this fucking ham and bean stew.
Well, right there, you should have been
right.
vat.
I thought, I don't know how this is gonna mix with beer. So I'm like, okay, whatever. I'm going home after this. Was I going out after that? No, I was just gonna go home. And so I start to scoop some soup right into my bowl or my cup, whatever I have.
And Dad is not intoxicated.
No. And Dad's like, I wouldn't eat that if I were you.
A sound of reason.
With zero explanation. There's no
like
explanation.
urgency. I'm understanding in his voice. No urgency.
No.
Just I
Well, I
wouldn't
wouldn't
eat
eat that if I were you. And like fucking gets a hot dog and walks away. I don't know. So I'm thinking that he meant like what I was thinking, which was like, I don't know how well a ham and bean soup is really going to go with beer, because all I can think is I'm going to have gas the rest of the night and probably for the next 3 days. Like, that's what I was thinking. This is going to cause like mad flatulence. That's what I'm thinking. That's what I think he means. We fast forward a little while and my stomach starts to fucking gurgle and I have pains. You all know those pains. Those pains that means you're about to fucking piss out of your asshole pains. I mean, it was bad. And I got up and I would like run to the bathroom and thank God they had like indoor plumbing.
Oh wait, you used the bathroom there? I didn't.
No,
know
I
that.
tried. Because my Aunt Frida was still alive. I loved her. And I was like going pale. And she's like, are you okay? I'm like, I don't. She would go, honey, go to the bathroom. So I run to the bathroom and I'm like trying, like nothing. I'm waiting. I'm not even trying. I'm waiting. I'm there to fucking wait. I had a lot of waiting it out in the bathroom stories. Now I stop and think about it. So I come back out.
God.
Right? I drink a little beer and I'm sitting there and I'm like, I'm in pain. Like I have bad stomach pain.
Someone must think there's something really wrong with you.
Let me go back and try again. Right? So I go back to the bathroom. I'm just sitting there waiting. Right? I mean, I can like hear my stomach making noise.
Oh,
It hurts me. Like I am in physical pain.
Where's Dad for this?
I had a hot dog and a beer. I don't know. So after like the second or third time of me going to wait it out in the bathroom.
Mom's working, by the way. That's why she missed this fun event.
Yes. Go back out. And now we've decided it's time to go. It's time to fucking go.
Have you decided, or did Cindy decide?
I think Cindy said, "Do you want to go?" And I'm like, "Yes." It's like
Sound
it's
of
time to go.
reason. That sound
Now
of reason.
we are about 45 minutes, right, from my parents' house. We have to drive 45 minutes, and I'm weighing this in my mind a little bit.
You are
right?
a grown ass woman too.
Because I'm like, I could wait here and have something really horrifying happen. I know it's not an if, it's a when. Right now we're at the when. When something horrifying happens, do I want to be here in the bathroom? Like the floors are wet now and they're running low on TP. Like where do I want to be for this?
You need to grab some.
It's
paper
time
towels.
to go. It is time to go. So my cousin Cindy races a new Cadillac. We're in the car, right? Dad's
Her
in
new
leather,
Cadillac.
leather seats, right? Dad's in the
Wait,
back
backtrack.
seat.
Have you warned any of them that you've got the gurgling belly?
Yeah, that's because we had to leave. Like it was
okay,
urgent.
okay.
There was some I had urgency. Right? I had urgency.
Oh my God.
So and there's not a lot of places to stop.
No, it's
in
rural.
this 45-minute range.
It's a rural area in a rural
and every
drive.
once in a while, there's some houses along the road.
Rural drive, very pretty drive.
So there is a truck stop right there in the middle, like where
I-80.
I-80.
Big truck stop.
We get close to it, and Cindy asked me, "Do you need me to stop?" I'm like, "No, keep going, keep going."
And it's a good truck stop.
But I'm not. The when hasn't come in yet, right? Again, we're past the if. It's the when. But I'm not there yet. I'm like, just keep driving. And I'm like sweating. I'm like pale. Like this is and just like, oh my God, this car, we cannot get home fast enough. So then we're driving along, and now there's some real urgency. There is some real urgency, and there's nowhere to go. And all of a sudden, there's a house being built with a porta potty in the front lawn.
Right along the side of the
street.
street.
She fucking takes that car on the side of the road. Gravel goes up. Dad flies across the back seat. I think she handed me tissues. I don't even know. Maybe I had napkins. I don't even know. I tore out of that car.
You're lucky that it wasn't locked. A lot of them locked them.
I mean, I would have just gone right there. Let me remind you that it's August, okay? It is August. I tear open that fucking door and go in, and it's been used by workmen for I don't know how long. There are flies.
Oh my God.
And the smell.
I hope you find this funny. It's
I
funny.
almost threw up. I was like,
A bad
going
gag.
in there, and I'm like, I'm trying to very quickly get my pants down. I'm trying to like wipe the area. I have to sit.
There's no urgency. If it's that urgency, there's no cleaning.
Oh no. There's always time for that. So I'm like, whoa! I'm trying to clean the seat. I'm like,
The bad
whoa!
gag.
Right?
It's a bad gag.
I have a very bad gag
Oh
reflex,
my God.
especially. I'm very sensitive to smell.
So am
And
I.
So I mean, this was fucking rough. So the flies are going right, and I'm in there, and I'm just like, so I'm like quickly trying to ascertain which end is something going to come out of because I'm gagging so bad.
I'm crying.
And it was fucking horrific. So that I'm in there for a minute, right? I'm in there a minute, right? Because now
more than a minute.
I mean, right? I mean, but by minute I mean like a while, right? Like I'm in there a while, and I figure out like. I think I'm done for a little bit. Like I think I can make the last leg of the drive.
Wait, did you
right?
have enough toilet paper?
Yes, I think I had napkins. I think Cindy sent me those napkins too. And I may have had the wherewithal to bring napkins with me. That or I don't know. Look, I had plenty of all of that. But the fucking flies are buzzing around me. It's August. It smelled so bad. It was fucking awful. Fucking awful. Right? I get back in the car, and every time I pass this house now too, I'm like, thank you. I think the house is way finished.
You should walk
right?
up and knock
I
on
walk
the
over
door.
and tell them, when you had this house built, your yard saved my life.
And I think the carpenters probably got in there Monday and called the company and said, "Come pick this one up."
So I get back in the car and I'm reliving my experience to my dad and Cindy. Right? Look, let me just type. Right, Cindy, are you okay? I can make the last leg. Dad
It's a
chimes
45-minute
in,
drive.
right?
It's a 45-minute drive, and you're talking about making the last
right, the
leg
last
of it.
leg of the drive, right? Because
Like you're coming across the country.
I mean, I know it's a matter of when it sneaks back up on me again. Like it's coming back. I'm not done with this. I am not done with this. I wasn't done with this for the rest of the fucking night. So here's my dad in the back fucking seat, right? I'm like, drive fast, Cindy, drive fast. Like, Dad.
It's a one-lane street.
It's a one lane, right?
I mean, like not one way, but one lane each
with
way.
the occasional Amish buggy. I mean, like there's not a lot of like flying. I mean, without also like getting a ticket. I mean, it's rural, it's one lane,
God.
and there's an Amish buggy once in a while. You got some mascara
I
going.
know. I'm crying. I'm laughing.
So I'm horrified by all my senses are on high alert.
Do you smell when you come out of the...
Probably. I probably have flies in my hair, for fuck's sake. Who knows? Dad in the back seat. Oh, I told you not to eat that bean soup. Jesus Christ! I mean, you need to be more fucking specific about it. I thought he meant don't eat it because it's not going to go well with beer.
Right.
It sat there all day. I didn't make that connection.
Dad needs to work on the urgency and the tone of his voice. That's a nonchalant, like...
Don't eat that. I wouldn't eat... That would have been how I would have handled that situation.
Or if you're going to be nonchalant, go, don't eat that unless you want to have the shits on the way home. I mean, it was a casual, I wouldn't eat that if Robert, you wouldn't take off with a hot dog. I mean, so I'm left to like, okay. He means I'm going to have gas. Okay, I can put up with that. It's fine. I already figured I would.
supposed to be on gas, right? I'm like, you need to be more fucking specific when you chime in with I wouldn't eat that. There needs to be a reason behind that because I never. It didn't. You figure like ham is full of sulfites and it's whatever. It's ham and bean soup. Like there's nothing like cream based in there that I don't know what's in there. But like I'm not thinking it's like the hot dog. The hot dog's sad all day. I'm eating the hot dog. I mean,
Well,
the hot dog.
there are enough chemicals in the hot dogs.
I mean, so I've not had. I don't think I've had ham and bean soup since then. But I mean, look. So when he tells someone, Dad, when you tell someone, if my father ever says to you, I wouldn't eat that or I wouldn't drink that, you need to really understand there's some urgency behind that, even though he's not displaying that there's urgency behind that. He's
done that a couple times, not just with something to eat. Like,
did he tell Mom not to have the crab cake at the Arts Fest?
I think he might have. She had
I wouldn't eat
crab
that.
cake.
In Central Pennsylvania at the Arts Fest.
So Mom doesn't eat crab cake sandwiches anymore.
No, why would you? Out. It's like the walking taco at the fair. There are just certain things you just don't fucking get when you're out.
No, John loves a walking
pizza.
taco.
No.
I didn't know what a walking taco was until
our cousin got very sick on that and like damn near
yeah.
died. So no, we were at a brewery the other weekend. They had a taco truck. Excuse me, and they had a walking taco. I mean, I held it in. Sorry, the carbonation. So they had walking tacos. I'm like, is that like in a bag? And just think I'm like, oh, okay, we're not having a walking taco.
So for those of you that
don't plate, but
don't know what a walking taco is, I did not until Patrick was in the marching band and they used it as like a fundraiser, one of the things they sold. But parents made it and it was really cooked and it sat in the crock pot and continued to like be hot during the games. But a walking taco is you take a bag of Doritos or Fritos, but Fritos smell like feet to me. So Doritos is really the optimal. So you take a snack bag of Doritos, you open it, you put your ground beef in, you put some lettuce
actually put them in the Dorito bag.
Oh, yeah. Oh. If you're out. I mean, like, that's why it's called a walking taco, because you have it in a bag, and they give you a little...
I was imagining like a big Ziploc, and
no,
all
they
the
give
shit
you,
was just in
they
there.
give you a spork, and so it's the chips, and you try to crunch them up before you open it, and then you put the ground beef with the taco seasoning in it, the cheese, the lettuce, tomatoes, onions, whatever else you want.
Taco toppings.
Little taco sauce.
Okay, how do you eat it?
They give you a spork, and you eat it.
I'm like picturing like barehanded, like, you know, like...
I mean, it's not a pretty sight. I mean, you have the risk of really dropping it.
Oh, I would be a hell of a mess. I mean, I'm not a mess just sitting here. Yeah, so note to self. Well, Mom and Dad, Mom had the bad crab cake. So Arts Fest, July, you know, heat of the summer, and there's a fucking food truck, and she's getting the crab cake at the food truck.
But are we 100% sure that it was a bad crab cake?
That's like, yes. It's like gas station sushi. Like, there's just some stuff you just shouldn't ascertain. Like, you shouldn't, I can't even use the right word. You shouldn't even, like, consider. You shouldn't even question. You shouldn't consider it. Just fucking walk away. Get yourself, like, a hot sauce sandwich or something at the fair. Like, you can't be eating some of this stuff out.
Like, I had a friend who was in the center of the country. Like, you know, over by Missouri, further in a little bit, and down like south, like right above, you know, what is it, like northwest Texas? Okay. That's not where they were, but over that way.
Over that way, Midwest.
You don't order seafood. Seafood when you're out west. I mean, that's just a rule of thumb I have. I'm sure that they have it shipped in and frozen. Yeah,
They're far from the coast.
I mean,
I'm just watching the fucking pollen blow.
Oh yeah, my car's
off
covered.
Of that.
I don't know.
My
I
God.
have this thing when you're like a little on the landlocked side. I'm not ordering fish or a shellfish from you. I'm just not.
Yeah, no.
Just not.
No. And speaking of seafood, like I can't do. I can do the occasional raw oyster if it's presented to me with like some lemon juice and some salt, and it's presented to me in a good way. But I remember being at the beach with Mom and Dad and Bob and Sharon. And Bob bit into fried oyster and green stuff came out. Nope. And I was like 6. I don't know, 7. I was young. It was like the color of your shirt. It was so fucking gross. And so I just go, oysters like the one. I eat most things, right? I'm not a picky eater. No lima beans, no oysters. I mean, it's really like that's kind of like.
And there are only certain months, Dad. Dad knows this, but Uncle Bradley told us there's only certain months you should eat oysters.
Months ending in R is when they're like ready to eat.
I mean, he would know. He was like the Secretary of Agriculture for Louisiana.
I need to know, does that matter on what part of the country that you're in? Because oysters on the West Coast
Well, this is what I'm talking about. They got to be shipped in. They're frozen. You want to make sure they're frozen. I mean, any seafood.
No, but you're getting fresh seafood, like in Maryland or in New Jersey or
that's
Delaware.
Fresh. That's right.
When you get them, you're supposed to have them fresh in the months ending with R. So you go in September, they're fresh, you eat them. But is it the
July,
same
no.
if you're like in like San Francisco?
Yeah, I think it's all over.
Speaking of San Francisco, did you see the seals, the sea lions, the massive sea lions? The other day.
What's a group of sea lions called?
No, stop. A herd.
No, I'm looking it up. It's not a herd. Not everything is a herd. There's a herd
A pod.
of cows.
Whales are a pod. Okay, so we're gonna get back to the circle back. But I saw in the news about
What were they
there's
doing?
A huge. It was the most sea lions they've had in like 15 years, hanging out in the dock or the pier. Or
In
something.
San Francisco.
San Francisco.
Because there are a lot in San Diego too.
I think it was San Francisco. It could have been San Diego. Somewhere in fucking California. Look, I don't know. Okay.
Did they attack somebody? Oh,
They attacked
a group of 2 or more seals can be called.
They weren't seals. They were sea lions.
Okay, can be called a pod or
pod.
a
I was
bob.
right.
A
I was right
bob.
about
B-O-B.
Pod. I was right.
Okay, so you said sea lions.
Sea lions. but
They have the
also a pod.
tusks.
I get it was sea lions. Sea lions somewhere in the state of California near the water. The most they've had in like 15 years. That's all I got from it.
Oh, sea lions congregate in gregarious groups called herds or rafts.
See, it is a fucking herd.
Herds or rafts. I like rafts because it's a
I
new
like
word.
herd. I let my headbands fucking digging in here. Digging in. Okay. Circling back. So what else? Oh, so a couple weeks ago we were talking about fucking bracelets. You were talking about the one that you wanted from Keith Richards. Thank you, Michelle, for finding that. $400 on eBay, so she's not getting it.
No.
So here's me then. I'm perseverating over the Grace Kelly one that she wore in Rear Window, the Lisa Fremont, they call it, right? So here's my ass
They
back
said on QVC.
Etsy.
They said on QVC.
So I'm on Etsy. Back looking at this fucking thing. I have part of a gift card left. So then I was perseverating over it, and I had to have it because I kept thinking of the jingle, like the jingle jangle that it would make, and like, oh my god. And so I ordered it.
It's better than this.
A fucker's coming from Australia, so I've got to wait.
Is it sterling silver?
No, it'll probably break and turn my ass green. Not my ass, my wrist, like turn all my shit green, like whatever. Like it's gonna, I don't know. And for the price of it, it should not turn me fucking green.
Well, you're also paying for a ton of shipping. Like shipping
I can't pay. I can't pay for it. I can't wear it probably in the summer months because
when you sweat,
I
it'll be
sweat.
green.
So whatever my body does to
Look it
silver,
up
it
and see.
tarnishes. Like I tarnish silver like in a heartbeat, but I wear mostly silver. So my body, like especially in the summer, like probably alcohol coming out of my system when I sweat. I don't know, but it will tarnish some shit. So okay. So I got the bracelet. It's not here yet because I have to wait. It'll be here sometime later in May.
I got something from Australia.
Happy
and it
May!
took
It's
forever.
fucking May.
Oh yeah, May Day.
Fucking May. It was May Day's long gone.
I know,
May
but-
Day's over. But
Say May Day every
and
May.
May Day is
Day
actually
of May.
called Beltane.
Wait, what?
May Day comes from the pagan holiday of Beltane, which is actually not a holiday. What's the word? It's a I should know this. A brain fart. There are 8 of them. Like we'll say holiday because I can't think of the fucking word right now. But it's the day between spring and summer. It's so
May 1st is the
so
day between.
where we have a solstice, like spring solstice, and like the fall. So we have spring, fall, winter, spring, and summer. There's also a half point between each of those.
Yeah.
And it's another one that's observed, like Scotland and Ireland, all the pagan holidays from back then. So So the May Day came from that. It came from Beltane, which was what they would celebrate.
Okay. Well, a lot of schools with May Day, they do a thing on May 1st. They, especially at Bryn Mawr College, because we live in Bryn Mawr, there are pictures all over it, like in
With the
restaurants
pole?
and stuff. The pole and the women are dressed up, and this is like long time ago. I think they still do it, but they wrap ribbon around. By the way they're dancing and going around, it actually braids this ribbon down the pole.
So, in the history behind this is during Beltane, the pagan Beltane, before it became May Day, because the British were like, oh no, we're not having some fucking pagan shit going down. It was because spring and the birth of spring, and it's all about like fertility and shit, and it was a lot about fertility. So they would. There was a pole, which is a phallic symbol, and the women would dance around it, probably naked, and decorate it. And then they got rid of that, so it's made a comeback apparently. But when Christianity was like, oh no, we're not gonna celebrate with this phallic symbol and dancing around and getting excited about fertility and shit. So anyway, that's where it came from.
I have 2 things to add to that. One, did you know the acorn is a symbol of fertility?
I didn't.
I learned that from David Yurman.
Probably why the squirrels like them so much.
Acorns,
and they're fucking fertile and keep having more all over the
because
place.
David Yurman made what he calls an acorn. It's like a classic David Yurman. It's old, so you can look it up. But it's a pendant. And it doesn't look like an acorn, but it kind of does in an
Maybe I need the
way.
acorn to go with my fucking squirrel necklace.
They call it. I'm not getting that for you. They call the acorn a sign of fertility. Not just David Yurman. I mean, that's what it symbolizes. Now, the other thing. Oh, I just forgot. What were we talking about?
May Day in the pole and fertility. Phallic symbols.
Yeah, I had something to add, and it was funny.
Naked people dancing with it.
Oh yeah, naked people dancing. So, those of you that went to Penn State that watch the Mifflin Streak.
Do they still do it?
Oh yeah, because Onward State, the app, and one of the other ones for Penn
Nice.
State had it. They are running naked. They are running naked. It had pictures.
Well, now they wear masks because they don't want to get.
Yeah.
When I witnessed it in college, they wore masks, so they didn't get.
And the girls were in the
Well,
dorms with the blind, because you had those old fashioned blinds, and they would like kind of strip in
it was
front
just
of the
guy,
blind.
just the guys.
And the
were gone.
guys streaked through, but it was in the Mifflin Hall area. Those of you who did not go to Penn State, sorry for the boringness, but it was
It's
still
like
funny.
between the dorms, like in a big like.
Some people would get
courtyard.
arrested.
Well,
They don't want you doing it. My
They don't
year.
want you doing it. Now,
I want to show a
'cause
picture.
In the 70s, it was fine, but now you can't run around naked. It's illegal and shit. So look, you should be allowed.
Well,
So, I mean, it's a college.
you should
campus.
look at yourself in the mirror
I mean, if
before.
you're that offended by a naked body, just close your blinds. So freshman year, I was at Emilia's, and I was in her dorm, and there was commotion outside, and it was the windows that you crank too,
Oh, yeah.
right? So I'm trying to get out there, and so now there's there's a bunch of naked people running. Some have masks on.
They tried to do it when the cops wouldn't suspect them to do it, but it's always at the end of the spring semester.
Yes. We might have been watching Schindler's List too at this. I mean, like,
Oh, that's not
right?
appropriate.
So now, and my car's parked right outside, like outside the window. I can see it.
Was
So
it
now-
legally parked?
It was. I had to get up in the morning at 6 a.m. to move it though, so I had to hustle out of there anytime I slept over. So now there's cops on bikes are chasing the streakers, and they like cut off one, and they both like fell into my car, the old gray station wagon, right? So here's me cranking the window, I'm like, hey, get off my car, hey, like yelling out the window.
They took the picture down because they were like naked.
Oh, it's inappropriate. That's a shame.
Oh no! They
there
put
it is?
lions' heads over top of them.
Oh my God, show it. That's fantastic.
So this is only part of it. Go to Onward State. Okay.
That's
so
great.
wait, there's one. There's a better one for you. They got the Nittany Lion over the part. There are no girls' parts.
That's fantastic. I mean,
The
more
Mifflin
people-
Streak.
the world would be a better place if we all just fucking streaked once in a while.
Here's another one. So you can see
mean,
the group
right.
of people with alcohol. How do they have? They're busting a bunch of people because there are people standing out there with beers.
I mean,
Like,
they
you weren't
kinda
allowed
have
to
you,
do
I guess.
that. Yeah.
Well, now they must have cops that aren't on bikes.
Tradition never graduates. It says that's the headline for
They
it.
tried it. They want to arrest these poor kids. So okay. Anyway,
I like how they use the lion.
I know that's great. Look at these people. Fun times. Okay, so circling back. So Wally, the fucking alligator. He's the what? He's the.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the
is he a
Disney
caiman
character.
or an alligator?
He's a caiman.
He's a caiman. We discussed
were
this way
corrected.
back, right?
This
Circling back.
emotional support animal that was not allowed in the Phillies stadium, and the news said, "Let
thought
me
he
interrupt
was.
you." No, he was in.
He was in the parking lot.
He would. I think it was the Flyers he was allowed into,
The
and
Flyers
not the
allowed
Phillies,
into? Okay.
or vice versa. I can't
But he would
remember.
be like at the Eagles games and stuff, like in the parking
But
lot.
the news is stating that he was misunderstood. The owner was misunderstood by the whichever game facility wouldn't let him in with his emotional support caiman, for God's sakes.
I mean, could you imagine? It? Anyway, okay, but he's missing.
Well, because the guy, I don't know the guy's name, but guy took Wally in his little red harness down to Georgia for vacay, and it turns out
And he found out there were other alligator type creatures, and he took off.
I don't really think that's his
He sensed it?
but you can say that. We'll go with that. He either escaped or somebody got him, and he wandered off.
Well, I hope no one stole him. I hope he's all right though. I mean, because if he's used to being in captivity, he's not going to know how to survive.
I want to know, like,
I
when
hope
you
he's
have
all
a dog, you have to pick up the dog poo outside. I want to know what alligator poo, like, if you have to pick that
Why
up.
don't you Google what does alligator poo
No, but
look like?
I
Here
also
we
want to
go.
know,
We're
like,
really
if it's a
crossing the
lot.
line.
Like, if it's a lot.
Oh God.
You know, like, some people don't want big dogs.
Well, here's the thing too. When they poo and they drag that big tail behind them, there's just fucking smear everywhere. Oh, I mean, look.
It's like the hippos.
Oh God. If you've never seen a hippo poo, you need to Google this shit. Literally.
I think
Google
my son
this shit.
saw it in school, but not
mean,
on
it's-
purpose. But like they were talking about
And then
hippos, and
he,
then
like,
that happened.
like,
I mean, it's
he-
on National
Poo
Geographic.
is amusing, and it's I mean, it's gross, but it's amusing at the same time. And so, when a hippo poos is anyway. I'm done talking about hippo poo. I really just I'm gone off the line here.
Oh wait,
There's a lot of poo in this one.
speaking of a friend of
Speaking of-
mine who's a friend of
Speaking
yours
of hippo
now.
poo?
No, speaking of poo, he said, my friend said, he suggested that we give Yelp ratings, do a Yelp rating on all types of bathrooms. The bathrooms at the stadiums down here, some people's homes.
People's homes. That's fantastic.
The porta potties, the outhouses that I am familiar with in Yellowstone, which are actually pretty clean. They do have a smell.
We will circle back to that.
That
we'll
would
have
be a
an
fun
episode
one.
on.
We could rate them.
In the meantime, if any of you have like a really good or really awful bathroom situation, we don't need to hear the whole situation, but like experience, like how is it? Like, is there water on the floor? Is it clean? Like what? Like what? Plenty of towels.
Okay, wait. So Wally, a Pennsylvania man, credits his alligator Wally for helping relieve his depression for nearly a decade. Says he is searching for the reptile after it went missing during a vacation to the coast of Georgia. He's distraught, and part of it is that he did not have a permit. You have to have a permit.
The owner is distraught?
Yes.
I was making sure it wasn't Wally that was distraught.
Oh, how would they know they haven't found him yet?
But people are looking for him.
Yeah, he obtained Wally in 2015 after he was rescued in Florida at the age of 14 months. He helped
How do they know it was
get rid of his
months
depression.
How do you know it was 14 months old when you look?
No one has filed police reports about the missing alligator in the surrounding counties. The Georgia Department of Natural Resources confirmed that someone in the Brunswick area reported a nuisance alligator on April 21st, the day Wally went missing, and that licensed trappers were dispatched to capture it. Trappers.
I thought she fucking said trappers. I mean, look, trappers. What the fuck's a trapper?
A trapper. They trap the
animals.
animals.
Right, a trapper.
Was dispatched to capture it. The agency said in a statement that the gator was released in a remote location, so they found it and released it.
Oh, so now he's gone. Now he needs to find a new...
Because...
Who released it?
The trappers.
Oh.
Whoever trapped it.
I'm having trouble following. Sorry.
It is illegal in Georgia for people to keep alligators without a special license
but an alligator's
or permit.
a caiman. I thought it was a caiman.
I think it all falls under the same thing. And the State Department of Natural Resources says it doesn't grant permits for pet alligators.
Fucking Georgia.
Pennsylvania has no state law against owning alligators. There you go.
That's fucking great.
Though it is illegal for owners to release them into the wild, according to...
He didn't release it. They got away from it.
No, but this is in Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania has no state law against owning an alligator, though it is illegal for owners to release them in the wild.
Because the water's too cold.
No, but what this is hinting at is that a lot of people, not just in Pennsylvania, but all over, have these like exotic animals that you're not supposed to have for a variety of reasons, like i.e. the woman that had a panther that thought it was a big cat. You can't just release them into the wild because it has all kinds of consequences.
Wait, I don't know if we talked about it. Circling back, on our Facebook page, we're talking about the animals on the Small Talk Queens Facebook. Was it Teresa? It was Teresa that posted the fucking python, like the giant whatever.
Yeah.
Probably in Florida. I think it was Florida.
Yeah, it was Florida.
Florida. Always fucking Florida. Animals and serial killers, always in Florida. Crazy fucking people. I don't understand. Anyway.
We're sorry if you live in Florida.
Sorry, no offense. Look, I mean, it is what it is. So, a giant python, and it's on the Facebook page somewhere.
Yeah. On Small Talk
for those
Queens.
of you that are on it.
It's under the thing, one of the
She
postings.
She commented on one of the animal things. She commented, and it's a giant. There's like a bunch of people holding it.
Well, the other thing that you need to know is that pythons are now an invasive species in Florida. One, they don't belong there. They don't come
they
from
eat
there.
The stuff in the,
and
in the grass.
They're eating the things that shouldn't be eaten. It has fucked up the ecosystem there. And they're invasive. There are way too many. Way too many. There shouldn't be any, but there are way too many. So it's become a problem.
I mean, pythons originally came from where? Like India or some shit?
I don't know. I don't know the history. I'm not even...
Really
People
like
already
India,
think I'm an
China,
idiot because I only speak like half truths and give like half information. I don't know where pythons come from.
I think they come from the east.
She's going to yell at me when we're done because I got my phone.
Googling it.
But you know what? People do this, and I see people on the news do this.
And there we go.
So, fuck you. So, I'm looking up... What am I looking up?
She had the phone. I didn't know what the fuck she's looking at.
What am I looking up?
I forget. Chris, I can't keep track. My God, I swear to God, we do not smoke pot before we do this. I swear to God.
Wait.
Maybe we should.
What were we talking about?
Alligators? Pythons. Jesus Christ.
Where do pythons come from? People's homes who don't want them as pets anymore?
So also circling back. So in the previous episode, I was talking about how I cut my own hair. And my friend asked me about how do I do it. And so... Look, I'll just show you. Excuse, this is gonna be wild. It'll be fucking wild. Here we go.
Oh my
God. I comb it, right?
Oh.
Right? It It's
Wow.
wild, right? It's wild.
Wow. That's a brave move right there.
Wet. I get it wet. And I pull it. I comb it all forward, right? All forward till it's in like a ponytail.
Don't try this at home, kids. Don't try this at home.
Well, I googled it during
Google
COVID.
it, kids. Don't try this at home.
I googled it during COVID because I didn't come here. So
And if you do, don't hold her
So I
responsible.
put it in a ponytail, and then I literally just take the scissors and crop them off. I just crop it off, and then I part it. You know,
You could end up like that party girl on 16
I part
Candles.
it, and then I bring it down like this. This is my hair, not a hair wash.
Here's a
day,
new
it's
career
just
for you,
useless, right?
hairdressing.
So and I bring it down on either side. Does it look even? I can't tell.
Yeah.
And then I bring it down at either side, and then I take a chunk like this, right, and I just snip it right off. And then I take this over here, I smooth it out, and I snip it right off. And I look to see if it's even. And then it does. So when you do it, though, like I have like, I mean, it's a hell of a mess right now, but I have like, it gives layers, you know, it's not all one length. It gives layers because when you put it all together, anyway, look.
Why aren't they doing that in the salon?
Well, I don't know. This is how you do it at home. This is how you do it at home. So those of you that wanted to know
Until you don't, because you've messed it up so bad in their tears.
Well, I figured my hair's long enough that if I fuck it up enough, I mean, I lopped off, like, I thought it was 4 inches. I think it was close to 6 inches I cut off of it the other day. I mean, there's a lot of hair in the garbage. And then I cut it just so I could stick it back in a fucking bun.
Oh my God. When John was cutting his hair, when he had more hair, you know, he uses the clippers.
It looks like an ice cream cone.
It does. That's a bad look. It's like straight up out of it. You look like you're something off The Simpsons or something.
That's great.
You got to lopside it or
And
make it bigger.
My ears are all flopped out.
You got to change that. People are going to be like,
it's fine.
So my husband was cutting his own hair, and I didn't know this. And one morning I went outside to get in my car, and in the grass there's all of this hair, but I thought it was fur. I'm like, Jesus Christ, something ate another squirrel or a rabbit. So I go back inside and I'm like, John, you have to go outside and look to see where the dead animal is, because there's fur everywhere. He goes, where is it? I go, right there by the, kind of at the edge of the grass. He's like, oh, that's my hair. I'm like, what? He's like, I cut my hair and I went to dump it and it kind of like fell. It didn't make it in the trash can. I'm like, oh, well, some bird can use it as a bird nest now and it's not a dead animal. So wait, pythons are native to Africa, Asia, and Australia. Many python species have found their way to the U.S. thanks to their popularity in the pet trade.
Australia has like 12 of the most dangerous snakes in the world. Like they're from Australia. They're like located there, which makes me probably not want to go there. I don't know.
And just in case you didn't believe me, Google, this is what Google says. It is believed that pythons began breeding in the wild as a result of two primary causes: irresponsible pet owners releasing them and animals escaping their loosely kept cages as a result of hurricane and stormy weather in Florida. There you go. Now you know.
Now Florida's inundated with pythons and fucking serial killers.
Well, I mean, people have like monkeys and they let them go.
Did you see the thing I sent you? The monkey doing the filing the girl's nails. Fucking Instagram, right? I'm doing the scrolling.
But here's the thing now.
And the monkey is sitting there filing this woman's nails.
Here's the thing now.
And he was doing a hell of a job.
No. They're not going to open a chimpanzee's nail salon.
It wasn't a chimpanzee. It was a monkey.
What's the difference? There are many varieties of monkeys.
Chimps are different than a monkey.
They're still monkeys. Look it
There's
up.
like a little spider
on like the biology of very.
This is like the monkey that the girl with the braids had. Fucking
Pippi
Longstocking. Yes.
Okay.
Pippi Longstocking.
I don't know. I don't know what monkey that was, but
a small monkey.
Here's the thing we need to be careful of. So when you laugh at me when I Google things or I say that it's from NBC News or ABC News or a legit place, it's because of AI. Today, I saw something come across. It was a guy walking a dinosaur, one of those like big ass lizard things in
So the monkey wasn't real filing her nails?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying.
That's upsetting.
Because the guy walking a dinosaur, which is actually a dinosaur, I forget the actual name of it, in Australia. Why does Australia have all the funny stuff?
They don't have dinosaurs.
No, it's called a dinosaur. It looks like a big ass lizard. I forget what it's called. But everybody's like, this is AI. This is AI. This is not true. This is false news.
Well,
so you have to be careful.
You have to be careful. So speaking of being careful, right? The shit that happens. So recently, I mean, and all of you have experienced. I know everyone has experienced this. So 2 weeks ago, Joe and I were out driving around looking for other places to walk besides the park and
scratching
the cemetery, which is a lovely place to go. So we're out just having a little drive. Excuse me, and we're talking about. I mentioned Chanticleer. Chanticleer is an old estate that they turned into like a public.
They left it. The owners of this huge ass property, this estate with the house, left it to our township, Radnor, and you can Google it. It's gorgeous. It's gorgeous grounds. They do all kinds of plants there. The owners had the plants.
Like a tea shop, like give you tea, you can order tea or something.
No, I don't think so. But you can take a lunch. You can take lunch.
Okay.
Picnic.
So I had mentioned we could, Chantilly's up there. We could go there sometime. I hear it's lovely. And within seconds, right, and I'm sitting there on my Facebook, I'm like scrolling while we're driving around. And all of a sudden I had ads in my Facebook instantaneously for Longwood Gardens and Winterthur. Or
Well, they're all like
right?
Chanticleer.
Right. So, but I mean like instantly.
It's listening to you.
The phone is listening to you. Why isn't it listening to me when I say other stuff, right? I'm surprised I don't have the FBI at my house sometime.
Well, you might.
I might, right? Probably when I see the fucking Amazon truck out front, it's really someone listening to me. Because I rant, right? So anyway, then Friday, Saturday, we were talking about, the other weekend we were talking, the other weekend we were talking about, when we were going out in the city, and we were talking about, we were going to go, so there's a little something in the air. It's a little
God,
it was like a spider. My Christ, it's like a gnat or something. Look, I can't have a bug flying around me. It'll end up in my fucking butt and be there for like a while.
Oh, that reminds me of the Brittany Griner thing.
So, we mentioned about going to a brewery in the city, Yards Brewing, right? We've not been to they opened up a new establishment. Like they had the old one, we've been to it, and they opened up a new one years ago, and we've just not been to it yet. So we talked about going, and now every fucking time that I open up my phone, like on Facebook, I have Yards Brewing, Yards Brewery ads.
This
So
is
the
just on
phone is
Facebook,
listening to
but it's
me.
just on Facebook. So Facebook is the one that's really listening to you.
I don't know
Because
how
you're
it
not
works.
getting those ads in your Google when you bring Google up, or like on your Instagram and you bring Instagram up.
I don't know about Instagram. I'm not on it that often. I'm usually on there just mostly I'm on Instagram for when I get messages, but then also in my news feed are animal things, a lot of different monkeys, which I enjoy, and a lot of really cute. There's a little fat little Asian baby. She is it's the one I say chubby as hell, and they dress her the fuck up and post pictures of her, and I love her.
It's not an animal.
No, it's a little Asian baby.
I know, but you were talking about.
I
oh
get
my God.
animals, mostly monkeys, I said, and it's cute little. There's a bulldog, lots of bulldogs, bulldogs dressed up in clothing, lounging on the beach, eating popcorn, like whatever. Like bulldogs dressed up, French and English bulldogs, and this fat ass little Asian baby, and she's the cutest fucking thing you ever saw in your life.
That's not appropriate.
Why isn't it appropriate? A cute baby. I mean, anyway. And she's darling. I can't. And so now I keep getting her. So that's what I see.
She is really cute. They dress her up like a doll.
They dress her up like a doll.
Is that AI though?
I don't know. One time she got a little fussy about it. I don't think she liked the outfit.
Okay.
I don't know. So
She's not a Barbie doll.
well, my friend had a daughter that did not like. She was not into wearing dresses or leotards. And I remember she was trying to get a Christmas photo one year. The daughter was like 2 or 3. I mean, full on meltdown. Like, I'm not wearing this. So I mean, some kids don't like to be dressed like that. I had like leotards when I was little.
Leotards.
Probably why I don't wear socks now, because I was like traumatized by leotards.
If you have a good Christmas story, a Christmas picture story with your family, you should DM us it, because I have my own, which is
if we
just.
start now, we can have a whole compilation of them by Christmas.
It's just that everybody thinks like it should be like a Brady Bunch moment and like one picture and you're done. There's actually a lot of screaming and yelling and swearing
my
and temper
people,
tantrum.
Like
temper
post the
tantrums.
pictures with the kids on Santa's lap, like having a fucking meltdown.
Yeah, those are the best.
Or like, why the fuck is there a school bus? What time is it? Oh my god. Oh, wow. You're gonna have to skedaddle. We're gonna have to go. Okay, well, we gotta go. She's gonna have her kid off the bus.
I hope it doesn't hit my car.
Oh yeah, tight squeeze there.
But you should tell us your Christmas stories.
Yeah,
Christmas picture stories.
But the Easter ones too. No wonder the kids are screaming on the.
Well,
fucking
the
Easter
bunny does not look
the
real.
Easter bunny's fucking terrifying.
It is
The
terrifying.
Easter bunny's a terrifying guy.
I mean, at least Santa has like a real face. Like he's not wearing a mask or one of those things.
I mean, it looks like a jovial fuck. I mean, I don't know why the kids like are so like.
Let's go see the jovial fuck at the mall. I mean,
the one, speaking of circling back, there's Santa school for it, and I'm gonna find out about these. I need to find out about these mermaids, fucking mermaids at the
There's
aquarium.
no mermaid school.
We'll look it up. There's not a mermaid school, but there are mermaids at the aquariums.
okay.
They have breathing apparatus, and they swim, and then they go over. They
Do
breathe
they have
in
like
the
a
tubes.
snorkel thing?
No,
or is
they
it
have
like
tubes hooked up throughout the thing, and they go. Look, I know I have seen this.
so that you can take your 2-year-old daughter there and she can go home or
And
go
she
to
wants to be a
preschool
fucking mermaid.
and be a mermaid?
I wanted to be a fucking mermaid because of the movie Splash with Tom Hanks and
I
Daryl
know.
Hannah. When I was obsessed with Daryl Hannah. She was so pretty, and she had gorgeous blonde hair.
She dated JFK
And
Jr.
she came out of the fucking ocean, and I was like, I'm gonna be a mermaid. How do I go about this? I mean, I was absolutely I wanted to be Daryl Hannah as a
The
mermaid.
Little Mermaid didn't do it for
Madison.
you.
Her name was Madison because they had to pick up a name. They pick a name for her, and the street sign was like Madison Avenue, and she went with Madison.
I was first introduced to mermaids from the old original Disney movie Peter Pan.
Oh, there's a mermaid
And the
in there?
mermaids are in there, and Peter Pan at the
The
island
Peter
of
Pan
Neverland.
with what's
It's
his
a
name?
cartoon.
With Robin Williams.
No,
Oh.
it's a cartoon.
I meant the movie. Robin
No,
Williams.
it is
Was
a
that-
movie. It's a
good
Disney
one.
movie, and it was done in the 60s, I think, or the
I'm
70s.
thinking Popeye. Sorry, I'm thinking the movie Popeye. Robin Williams was also in Peter Pan. Sorry, look.
Right. He was. Then somebody was Captain
Spins
Hook.
up,
I don't know.
yeah.
But this was the original Disney animated, what they call cartoons, animation
A fucking cartoon.
of Peter Pan, and they had mermaids in it. And I wanted to be a mermaid after I saw that. But mermaids, as you learn from watching Harry Potter, are
terrifying.
actually like terrifying.
The mer
They're
people.
not pretty, and they kill sailors, and they lure them in and
The
kill
mer people
them.
are
And
fucking rough. But when you watch Aquaman, they're not. Oh, they weren't mermaids. Hang on, were they mermaids? Fuck. Or just like fish people. Well, now I can't remember. God damn it.
I'm gonna grow up and be a fish person.
Mer people.
Mer people.
Joe, can you hear me? Where in Aquaman were the girls? Were they mermaids? No.
Okay.
Just regular old fish folk. Anyway,
Poor Joe.
Aquaman. We recently watched Aquaman and the sequel. It's okay.
I heard it was the worst. I mean, the guy's hot. What's his name? But I heard the movie wasn't very good when it first came out.
It was all right. I mean, there's a little bit of humor in it. It was not awful. I mean, it wasn't. I heard it was awful, and I did not think it was awful. And he's not bad to look at. Speaking of a bun, he can pull off a man bun pretty good. Anyway, okay. Frog in the throat. Sorry. Frog in the throat.
This is
Like, too
really
much
going
talking about it
downhill.
makes
This
me,
is
like,
going downhill.
Okay, so this was
fast.
okay. So we circled back. I mean, because we had to wrap up a couple of things, like with the chicken. With
You
the
got it
eggs.
all. You got it all.
I got it all.
She
I
made
got it
a
all.
list.
And hopefully by our next episode, I will have gotten my Lisa Fremont bracelet, and I can sit here and fucking jingle it, like with just.
I'm not getting the Keith Richards one, and it doesn't jingle. So,
$400 for some handcuffs. Why don't you get handcuffs and make one?
well, first of all, it's made artsy fartsy, so you can't really tell that they're handcuffs.
Well, maybe there's like a knockoff. Look, I don't know. It's something to ask for Christmas.
And it was made by the one on Etsy was made by the British, a British lady. I don't know if she made his, but she is doing the replicas of it.
Well, I will circle back to my Lisa Fremont Grace Kelly bracelet.
Oh, I do have to
I
go.
should have it the next time. You just go. Okay. So so
Bye.
thank you so much for tuning in. Take care. We'll see you
Bye.
soon.
Have a
Bye-bye.
good one.
Oh.